Good morning, guys, and welcome to FYI. For your information, it's the 1st of March. It's the 1st of March. Good to see each and every one of you. Welcome on the live, guys. It is the first day of March. Believe it or not. Happy March, Debbie. Happy March, Dolly and Kevin. Happy March, Cheryl. And all you other wonderful folks joining us. A very, very happy March. Productive. A productive March to each and every one of you as we come on, the anthem, the mantra. Share that live for us, guys, and smash the emoji button. We want others to get the valid and credible information as well. Great to see each and every one of you from the many places you're joining us from this March morning. Good to have all of you here, folks. Love that all of you are here with us. Great to see each and every one of you. Pace and power, folks. Pace and power. Vanessa Wardin, we see you there. We see you there, Vanessa. How are you doing this morning, this March morning? Rena Cummins, how are you doing? Winella Garnett, how are you doing? Don't be bashful now. Good to see all of you folks on the live this morning. Great to see you, Winella. Say hello to the sun for us. Vashti Pollard is here too. How are you doing, Vashti? Guys, great to see each and every one of you on this live broadcast with us. Renella Garnett, Vashti Pollard, Helen Collins is here. Rihanna Mingo is here. Marcia Daniels is here. Vashti Magnot, as I've said. Debbie and Keybert is here too. Keybert Hope. Good to have you here too. All of us can use a little bit of hope, folks. All of us can use a little bit of hope. And again, great to see each and every one of you folks joining us from the many places. It's a brand new day, folks, a brand new month. And we really trust that all of you wonderful folks are well. You ain't letting nobody steal the joy, pace, and power. Please and thank you. You know, I got some joy stealers out here. I hope you understand that. We got some joy stealers in us. Pace and power. Right? They come to upset you this early. They want to upset you this early morning, folks. But we ain't going to let them do it. We are not going to allow them to do it. Beautiful people, how are you doing out there this morning? Another day to make a difference, folks. Just want you guys to know that. Another day to make a difference. Pace and power and pace. Good to see each and every one of you on the live this morning, folks. Great to see each and every one of you on the live. We got quite a few things to share with you folks this morning. Valetta Bramel, we see you there. Bossman, we see you as well. Sumo Williams, we see you too. Anne-Marie Selby, Camille Cox on the live this morning. Folks, we head into the first 15. Rash Ricardo on the live. Clyde on the live. Clyde Fowler. Sabrina Blue on the live. Luan Hall, touchdown. Great to see each and every one of you folks. You're telling us together. Creating a master plan. A development plan for all the regions. Well, we got a red flag already. Right out the blocks, we have a red flag. Flag them. Red flag, folks. Because we understand we're dealing with an administration. Don't consult with anybody. Remember we showed you in last evening's broadcast, was it? Last evening's broadcast, member of the Jamaican cabinet, he only proper that a councillor of the opposing side will not benefit from resources of the government. And he's out, resigning from cabinet. We're in a country where that is practiced every single day. Opposition members are denied resources in municipalities, NDCs and all of that, then they have won. Government bypass them. We see it every day. So when we see the new Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Sonia Parag, talking about creating a developmental plan for all regions, the question that comes naturally is whether the local authorities are being consulted for these plans. Are the local authorities in these areas being consulted? I candy, Lisa? Oh, your guess would be as good as mine. Sabrina Blue, Dashi Blair, Valletta Bramel, Innocent Cave. Your guess would be good as mine. Whether or not the people are being consulted. Tracy Clarkson, no. Right off the bat. Because we've seen the pattern of them circumventing, going around, bypassing, mowing down, going over elected authorities to do whatever they want to do. A good question is, the Honorable Sonia Parag, how many of these local authorities have been consulted? List them for us. List how many. As we're creating development plans for the region, they think some good in and of itself. Prima facie. But see, when you begin to drill down, when you begin to unpack, that's where the real demons lie. Edward Brooms, that is where the real demons lie. The devil is in the details. That's the struggle we got today, you know. The devil is in the details. Mark and Debbie, earlier English. Oh, you know them boys. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, folks. You know them boys, Debbie. Mark, Sabrina Blue. You know them boys. At the end of the season, so I'm being consulted. You know, as we were on that, the folks on the East Coast saw some very, very suspicious activities quite recently. Some very, very suspicious activities. And this is particularly in the Buxton Fowls. The Buxton Fowls. Neighborhood Democratic Council. The council saw some very suspicious activities. Land clearing about the Friendship Village. Nobody consulted with the NDC. Very, very suspicious activities. So while all is well and good, on the face of it, on the surface, with developing plans for all regions, are the people and their elected representatives, have they been consulted? That is the crux of the matter. At least we know for this suspicious land clearing activities you folks have seen there in the Buxton Fowls area. Fowls. The NDC itself went to take a look because clearly it was not consulted. So when Sonia and the others run out, you better know who you're dealing with, folks. You better know who you're dealing with. The audio is a little choppy, but the video is compliments of Cam's TV. Bear with us, the audio is a bit choppy. But the NDC and villagers went to back Friendship Village to see what is happening there. Is this part of the developing plans? You know, they don't like see land. Land sitting down too long affects them. A lot of land grabbing happening. Well, the folks at the Buxton Fowls NDC, not taking it like that. Take a look at some of what transpired here quite recently.
So the operating or the engineering sector.
And the person that is happening, it's the name of that person.
So this security line is what we do the rock or all of it. We keep the rock, but
Okay, well, you're one of the okay, all right.
yeah, after
Right. So whether it is from this saying, I'm saying all lands, whether it be enfolded, whether it be enfolded land, whether it be sluices, whether it be dams, woods, bridges, divided lands or undivided lands, all land within the jurisdiction of the NDC falls under the NDC. Now, there are some exceptions. There are some exceptions. Exceptions fall within co-op land.
yeah,
The NDC, however, is responsible for all reserves.
I work with the people of the committee.
Correct. Correct. Work with the people of the community. Fine. But there is the NDC Council that is the autonomous body
No.
that
It's a
makes
private.
no. I'm
It's
saying to you,
private.
sir. No. I'm
It's
not.
a private.
No. I'm saying to you, sir. Not we're not arguing. We're just educating
You
you,
don't
sir.
get
Right. I'm saying to you that the NDC Council, right, works with its people, but the NDC Council as a board would make representation and decision. Correct. That the people would therefore follow. Right? Now, the NDC also, and I'm going back to what I'm saying, is responsible for the lands, whether it be divided or undivided, enfolded, and all the other categories that I mentioned just now. What happened is that yesterday we received an information that someone, one by the name of Mr. Amer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Who is called Nappy.
Yeah, the
Who is
chairman.
called Nappy.
This chairman.
Okay.
Chairman from where?
Okay. That 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 individual is doing some clearing of some sort at the back of the PIC, obliquely at the back of the PIC, right? So we got down here yesterday, and we did not see anybody
No.
like you or Mr. Amer or anybody else to talk to. But we also get on to Lantern Survey. We got on to Lantern Survey, and we were furnished with this area plan. Right? And I'm going to ask the cameraman to zoom into the area plan that we have in. And it is showing us clearly that all these lands are owned by individual And if the cameraman could just zoom to that area, those houses that are going up there, we were no. Just now, we were informed that those houses that are going up there, we were informed, and it was alleged. We can say that no, it was alleged that the same individual would have sold those pieces of land. No. I'm saying it is alleged. I'm saying to you, sir, it is alleged that those pieces of land were sold for $40,000. It is alleged. However, I'm just going to let the cameraman zoom in on this area of that we got the
2019, me personally call for the decision of this whole.
Zoom into this whole area, sir. Can you?
Decision, and decision.
No. What the cameraman is zooming into this area about is that the whole area, it is already lotted out, and if we look at carefully, we have lot 685, 689, 687, on and so forth, and so what we are saying is that this area is being by individuals.
Listen. You said what people.
Yeah. Welcome back, folks. You're watching there the Buxton Fowles NDC talking about some land clearing activity that they're very suspicious at back of Friendship Village. Buxton Fowles NDC, very suspicious, they say, of what's happening there. And it's quite interesting. It is quite interesting, folks. And we say it's all well and good for any country when regions are being developed and you want it to be done in an even way, in a holistic way, a much overused word, in a holistic way. But there's a way to go about doing it. And we haven't seen that in this administration, sadly. Sadly, that is not the one Guyana we've seen. No. We've seen one set of people trying to railroad, bulldoze, bully the process. But that's another story. That's another story. We can pick up on it. We're going to pick up on it. Sports is integral. That's what they're telling us. Sports is integral. Those were the parting words of the CARICOM chairman, Arfan Ali. Arfan Ali says regionally, to regional development, sports is integral. Brothers and sisters, if that is so, why then are the sporting facilities, the recreational facilities, like the Ghana National Service ground, like that ground, like the NIS, National Insurance Scheme ground, why is it being treated in that way? If that is the case, it's quite interesting. When you look at it, you think about it. It's being sold to the highest bidder. I see Starbucks News putting a figure to the sale of those lands, $2 billion. The lands are being sold to the Qataris. That's what they're saying, $2 billion. Why is that happening? It's very interesting, folks. Very and extremely interesting what's going on that front. If sports is so important to you, if sports is so important for development, green space aside, schools utilize those grounds for sporting activities on a yearly, if not a monthly basis. Schools, where are they going to go now? Where are they going to go now? And Sabbath News, again, to its credit, has been highlighting the fact that vendors prior trade on the seawalls, where they're putting a boardwalk and all of that, they are going to be dislocated. Yes. They're going to be forced to move. Anybody wants to know chick board vendor when they come and set a 5-star? You know where they were eating the Tacoma pot the other day with Luis Inacio Lula de Silva. Inacio Lula de Silva, where he was going to eat the tumor worm. When that place was being constructed, conceptualized under the last government, when it was being constructed, the vendors allege, Aria Ali herself said when those places are being built, you guys are going to occupy them. And all of a sudden, when the place is finished being built, new tenants move in. And the vendors who used to be out there by the bandstand were forced to go beyond Camp Street. And now when you take up 2 blocks, you clear all of those things from in front of you. Where are those vendors going to go? Where are those vendors? Where are they going to go? Where? Where? Take a listen to some of what we're tracking on this issue.
Opposition leader Aubrey Norton contends that Vice President Bharat Jagdeo and the PPP are deluded into believing that Guyana is their private estate. His comments were prompted by the government's decision to grant lands along Thomas Lands to a Qatari investor for the construction of a hotel.
In discussing the Qatari deal at his last press conference, Jagdeo accused the opposition of criticizing every good PPP idea. Let us be crystal clear. We, on behalf of the Guyanese people, will persist in opposing every half-baked or ill-conceived public project, and equally every instance of government corruption, secrecy, unaccountability, mismanagement, and dictatorship.
The government had claimed that Guyana Lands and Surveys had proven that the lands along Carifest Avenue were owned by the government. However, City Hall has insisted otherwise and has provided the transport to prove it.
Qatari hotel deal is the subject of a legitimate dispute between the government and the Georgetown City Council regarding ownership of the land in question. Outside of the ownership dispute, legitimate concerns have also been voiced about the best use of the land. In addition to the questionable government practice of covertly handpicking developers. The situation as it stands is bad for the political and business climate of the country.
Georgetown Mayor Alfred Mentor said that the transport was verified.
The transport was verified by the National Archives. Transport beyond 1960 or transport 1960 and onwards, you could verify those transports at the deeds registry. Transport behind that period, you have to verify it at the National Archives. And this transport that we provided to the media was a transport verified by the National Archives of Guyana that speaks of the authenticity of that transport.
The Qatari group has already begun construction on the disputed land. Mentor said that the council is prepared to go to court to challenge that construction.
We've asked our city engineer, based on the unauthorized work that is being carried out on the property itself, we've asked our engineer to place a cease work order within 72 hours of that meeting.
This matter would impact any new government. Norton said that due process should prevail.
I would say the government handled it badly, and therefore Action needs to be taken to ensure that it's handled properly. One is not opposed to investment. One is opposed to the arbitrary nature in which it is done. One is opposed to the disrespect to the city council and the law.
He said that the government, when it devised the plan to construct a hotel at that location, never assessed the number of hotel rooms that would be needed in Guyana in the next 2 decades.
I believe they wake up a morning, and if they wake up a morning and believe a hotel must go there, or somebody from Qatar entice them in a deal, they just go ahead. And they pay no attention to proper planning, to proper land use. That section, the north of Georgetown, the schools will be in trouble for playgrounds.
There is no environmental impact assessment done to determine how you'll be able to treat with this, how you'll be able to treat with the seawall itself, where you have, I think, a number of vendors there as well who vend, and people frequent that particular area.
When all is said and done, the council must have the wherewithal to enforce the cease work order.
In relation to statutory laws and requirements, we are not right when it treats with these issues of this nature. So naturally, as we ask our engineer to do what they have to do, to act on these issues. Yes, we know that many of these officers, for some reason or the other, are somehow or the other controlled by or influenced by the central administration. But at the end of the day, they have a statutory responsibility to do their work. So in addition to the city engineer having to follow through on the cease work order, we have to treat with our constabulary to be able to enforce this issue. And if it's not done in that particular way, there's always the issue of not this high court in this case.
Yeah. Welcome back, folks. We got a government and got no peace in the soul. It's always something, folks. It is always something. No peace, but they love sports. Right? Sports is integral for regional development, but they're selling out the sports ground. Isn't this the kind of hypocrisy that we heard the shadow foreign affairs minister calling out recently? Isn't it the same kind of hypocrisy? That's how I feel. This is hypocritical. Hypocritical. Sports is integral, but we can sell the grounds to the highest bidder. We can sell the grounds to the highest bidder. Here is Mr. Norton, the leader of the opposition's full statement on this Qatari hotel business that is going to be usurping those grounds. Take a listen.
Qatari hotel deal reeks of typical PPP executive lawlessness and secrecy. True to form, with the Qatari hotel deal, Jagdeo and the PPP government have entered into another business transaction that reeks of executive lawlessness, lack of transparency, and ad hocery. Jagdeo and the PPP continue to be deluded that the country is their private estate to dispose of without public and stakeholder consultation, proper planning, and compliance with the law. In discussing the Qatari deal at his last press conference, Jagdeo accused the opposition of criticizing every good PPP idea. Let us be crystal clear. We, on behalf of the Guyanese people, will persist in opposing every half-baked or ill-conceived public project, and equally every instance of government corruption, secrecy, unaccountability, mismanagement, and dictatorship. We will not back away from our duty and responsibility to the people of Guyana. The Qatari hotel deal is the subject of a legitimate dispute between the government and the Georgetown City Council regarding ownership of the land in question. Outside of the ownership dispute, legitimate concerns have also been voiced about the best use of the land, in addition to the questionable government practice of covertly handpicking developers. The situation as it stands is bad for the political and business climate of the country. Not only have central government and Georgetown municipality relations worsened, but the country's image as an investment destination suffers when good governance is undermined by the VP's shady dealings from his living room. We as a government would have approached the development of such lands differently. We would have produced a multi-stakeholder land use plan through public consultation. We would have worked closely with the city administration to achieve a shared understanding. We would have invited open bids, not secret handpicking for any development in the area. We would have made all fiscal terms and contracts publicly available. Such thinking and attitudes are, however, alien to Jack Deo and the PPP.
Yeah. We got to stop secret deals in the living room, as Mr. Norton says. We got to stop that. And City Hall did say that they're moving ahead with a cease and desist order. You got to stop that. You want to work with municipalities? You want to work for regional development? Well, the General Secretary of the PPP, Vice President Barrett Jagmis, he ain't got time with that. He ain't got time with no old paper that the main city council find that said they got title to this land. He's ain't got time because they can't even read one of the paper. Their lawyers and central housing, not central housing, lands and surveys, tell them the land is theirs and they ain't got time with some old piece of paper. That's what the fella said. He ain't got time with no piece of paper. That's how business is conducted in the country. You have an elected city hall. I'm saying we ain't got time with them. We can sell out the land. They will sell out the land on the city hall. And fight city hall, that is. Lands and surveys, purview. They would fight city hall for the land city hall. Yeah. Canada's vice president said the project moving forward. The project moving forward. I see Pollyanna Schultz says, shame, shame, shame. Correct. Listen to what Vice President said in his press conference yesterday, I think it was.
Anyone who visited the Marriott Hotel would have seen how we have outgrown that hotel. There's no space in the hotel to host any conference or anything anymore. They would have recognized the need to do that. This country is changing. You have to cater for all sorts of activities that bring benefits to the people of this country. This hotel will cost over $300 million of private money. It will be a 5-star hotel, the only one in the country, and one of the few in the region. It shall have convention space 5 times that of the Marriott Ballroom. What will happen at the end of the construction? You'll have at least 500 Guyanese who will have permanent jobs there. Like the Marriott now, and you go there and see all those people working. It was the same APNU that was opposed to the building of that hotel. They had to eat their words. Kaicho News, all of the APNU, AFC, Christopher Ram had to eat their word. They said it would be a white elephant project. It will not be feasible. They will turn it into a hospital. Today, it's one of the most profitable hotels anywhere. The value saw that from the bid that we received, which was nearly twice the cost of its construction. And it replaced the dump site. And hundreds of Guyanese are working there now. It's this narrow-mindedness now. We hear about the green space again. Oh, so don't worry. They dug up some old document from some archive that neither the city councillors or the PNC can't read. We have had the people, the lawyers and lands and survey, the people who are specialized in this area, produce the documentation about ownership. And the project is moving forward.
Yeah. Let's see what the court says. But it's all people that dig up. Let's see what the court says. Yeah. The marriage is so successful, you can't trust the books. It's so successful, they're selling it out. So successful. And even though he said he got twice the price that the built it for, the man can't get the hotel yet. The man that was willing to pay twice the price can't get the hotel yet. Right? The shredders, they must be working overtime. They can't get the hotel yet. We see this movie before. Wherever this fella, there's a lot of shady dealings. A lot of shady dealings, opaque dealings. Sports is integral, but we're selling out the land so the folks will have the use for sporting activities. But it's integral. Hope you see what gives. I hope you see what gives. May say you're going to be tenants of your own land. You're going to want the simplest jobs. You're working for a foreign person. Tenants in your own country. They're telling us that free travel is within reach. They're hoping to remove that. You know, when you go as a CARICOM national to a CARICOM country, they give you a 6-month stay. By March month 10, they're saying they're hoping to remove that. They're hoping to remove that. You see, part of this problem is that a lot of countries watching the resources. If people really start to move freely, you have an influx. Depression in your economy, your healthcare system, your education system. People been watching that. And you don't want any of the all sorts. You think me want to jag you in by she? Are you finale? By she full time? You really want the any of the all sorts. But they're telling us by March month 10, it's a done deal. That's what they're telling us, Vashti, Elizabeth. That's what they're telling us. Elizabeth wants to know the same thing I want to know. If the marriage is so profitable, why are they selling it out? The maths and mathsing, the sense and making sense. If it's so profitable, they just started running a profitable hotel now. Just selling it out like that. The mathsing. Tracy Clark said, no, they said a lip service. Free travel, regionally. It's within reach, they tell us. You see, they've been trying to get this ferry service off the ground between Trinidad, Barbados, and Guyana. They've been trying to get it off the ground, working out the modalities. You know when they start referring to those kinds of word choices, they're working out the modalities. They really know happening. Rowley's come out saying that the ferry service gonna need some more ferries. You know, the ferry service gonna need some more ferry to do the ferrying. Additional ferries to do the ferrying. So he got a whole boat. Me probably got a catamaran. You know, we probably got a fishing boat. We can do what we have to. But Rowley says we need some more ferries. We need some more ferries. And then they're telling us too that Suriname is going to be added as a route. So is Trinidad Barbados, Guyana, Suriname is going to be added. Whenever I hear Suriname, I always think about the travel licenses. See? They're getting a whole route. We still waiting on the travel licenses and the promise the fishermen. Santoki. We still waiting on that. We happy for y'all, of course. We ain't grateful to nobody. Suriname said the thing coming by them too. Rowley said they need some more boats to make it work. Let's see what happens, folks, as we run up to program time. Fires of the PPP. The authorities in Latem said they're still fighting bushfires. It's a crossing government, you know. It's a pack of crosses. Fires every day. Latem, you should see the magnitude of the blaze. Authorities said they're still working on it. Someone reported suggests 100 persons were assisting in trying to bring the blaze under control there. 100 volunteers. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. 100 volunteers working overtime to bring the fire under control there. It says in a village in Region 9 called Napi. Everybody right awake. Nobody napping here. Fires all around. Nobody got time to sleep. It's only Robeson sleeping. Fires, folks. So that's what's happening in Region 9. And then they tell us that the bush fire in Commons Lodge there, they've been able to bring that under control. Amanda Nelson, Forrest Meadows, they were able to bring it. Fires, folks, fires. It's hot in here. Fires. They've been able to contain that rapid grass fire at UG Road. It's Commons Lodge. Thankfully. And our ears going to be pressed against the wall today as that mediation process between the government and the Guyana Teachers Union gets underway as mandated by the High Court Judge Sandil Kisoon. We're going to be watching that, whether they're going into it in good faith. We're going to be watching that, folks. And that begins today. We're going to bring you guys up to speed on that on our next broadcast. They've started doing the work there at Silica City on the Linden-Suzik Highway. But they're telling us the master plan, you can see it mid-year. You're going to see it mid-year. You know, Sabuk Jones had done a scathing editorial on this issue here. You can try to build a whole city. The country ain't see the plan yet. The whole city. You can't even trust them to build a feet of road. Right. You can't even trust them to build a meter of a bridge. The whole city. The folks that run Gaisuk into the ground. Whole city, you know. They're trying with, but you don't know what it's going to look like. What's the cost of it? We don't know anything. They say by mid-year. By mid-year, the master plan get ready. That's what the folks say. By mid-year. There's a very sad story. Very sad story. A young lady was entering her yard and she was shot. The back of her neck. Said the bullet exited her jaw. She succumbed later on at hospital. The man who was alleged to have done that walked free recently because the judge said the prosecution could not make out a case for murder. The man shot her at the back of her neck. The bullet exited her jaw. ending her life. Ending her life. A man walks out of court free. We're in a bad way. We're in a bad way. Over to you, DPP. Running out. Over to you, DPP. Running out. DPP only seems to be interested in cases of a certain complexion. Political matters. Not a good time to run in and recommend to the High Court. Where's recommend for the other case? Running out DPP. Somebody's sister, daughter, relative ain't coming back home, and you tell me that's it? Somebody could shoot you, blow out your neck, blow out your face, and nobody's held accountable? Is that the country we're living in? Judge said the prosecution did not make out a sufficient case for murder. And the Babis engineer walked out of court a free man. Over to you, Director of Public Prosecution. Over to you. Over to you. Yep. Thoughts and prayers with this young lady's family. Her friends and her loved one. Could you imagine how the scab is torn off that wound? Could you imagine that? They think justice is going to be served. But they know. It's not what you know. It's what you could prove in court. The man walk. The man walk just like that. The man walk. And the family is going to be cast into pain and agony for a long time. But that's the kind of country we're living in. That's the kind of country we're living in, sadly. Right. That's the kind of country. I think I've gone too far. Look at the age, 22. 22. When I was 22, folks, I was sleeping not to dream, as the poet Martin Carter says, but dreaming to change the world. Look at the fella. Right. Drive a car, unauthorized, stolen vehicle, and he crashed it. Wreck it up. We're in a bad way in this country now. We're in a bad. There's no rest in our soul. There's about 13 of us in this country. Ain't it so? You got about 13 of us in this country. And this is it. This is it. God have mercy on us. Neil Madrumutu, the engineer, he walked. A young woman was shot in the back of her head. The bullet exit her jaw. Right. What are we going to tell a 22-year-old man who crashed a car? He should spend 3 years in prison. He's from El Paso Village, Region 8. There is where the vehicle was crashed, El Paso Village. The car was stolen and he wrecked it. What are you going to tell you? Take 2 years? Huh? We're in a bad way. We're in a bad way. Mango Landing. Region 8 again. Potaro Superuni. Drugs unearthed during a raid on Mango Landing. Yeah, there's how people trying to cope. You study literature, they call it escapism. They want to move out of the reality they're in. They want to hide. They want to remember this economy. They want to remember how hard it is. Drugs, illicit substances. Can't do the time. You better leave crime alone. You better leave crime alone. Christopher Ramsey Jagdu is part of the problem. Irfan don't didn't read this piece today in Sabbath News. That being said, read this in Sabbath News. Irfan then appointee oil minister, Christopher Ram, advocate, attorney, accountant. You see, he appointed himself. He appointed himself, Christopher Ram says. And nothing good has happened since. Read this in Starbuck News today. Look what's selling papers now. Is he appointed himself? And we still can't get back the 107 million that Exxon claim as expenses that is being vehemently disputed. We can't get it back yet. What we're getting instead is living room deals. We got to fight the government to see if ExxonMobil did purchase the parent company guarantee. We got to fight our government to operationalize the Petroleum Commission. Ram makes the point. It hasn't been the same with Oil Minister Jagdu, self-appointed, czar and everything conceivable under the sun. See, living room deals, Oil Minister. And I want you all to remember, the minister in Trinidad, he only suggests that the council on the other side is not going to be getting resources from the Jamaican Labour Party-led government. He only suggested. And he's out of a job. We practice it every day. And these folks are emboldened by the bad governance. Read Ram today in Starbuck News. See, Jack knows the problem. You know, one thing we doing, but one-eyed man is king in blind man kingdom. You know, one thing we doing, error after error, setbacks after setbacks. When you make investors for gas to shore, they've been pumping gas to shore since they came in. We didn't hear nothing but Qatari hotel, but they said they get invested for that. The Qataris not interested in gas to shore. In that deal of a lifetime, they're not interested in that. Exim Bank, like they said, whatever Jack do, whatever. Exim Bank got no time with it. Read Ram in today's Starbuck News. Good folks. For your edification. You know, as you have your mid-morning cup of coffee, or you're having some high tea later on. Look how we're selling papers now. Commissioner Cole, good to see you on the live this morning. McGarrell, Seville, good to see you as well. Let me go. Good to see you too. Edward Brooms, Beryl Crawford, Marilyn Thomas. Marilyn, how you doing? Yolanda. Good to see each and every one of you folks on the live this morning. It's a privilege being here. Morning, Toby. Great to see you as well. Earlier English, Iron. Great to see each and every one of you on the live, folks. We're going to leave it there, and we're going to pick up on it, folks, on the next broadcast. We're going to pick up on it on the next broadcast. Alexis, good to see you too. Forbes, Onessa Ward, good to see all of you beautiful folks. Rastaman, Andrew Griffith, thank you for your time. Andrew, thanks for the information. 6.5 can work. Slippers on the ground still, folks. Get out there on the protest line, folks. Stand with our teachers in your villages, in your communities. They're usually out there every day outside one of the education district offices in communities across the country. Lend your slippers on the ground too. That being said, folks, that being said, see Edward saying keeps you alive. Yep. We are in China living room deals. Stay safe. We can see you guys in the next one.